Yo, this is Stocks and Bars, the Stock Market Hip Hop Podcast, the only place you'll find finance mixed with hip hop. And this is part 2 of our conversation with my cousin, Jess Tierney. Make sure you check out part 1 as we discuss how you can find your way. Let's go.
I got my clique ready to use the money they got from jobs, encouraging, teaching them that it's not so hard. I'm doing this, making investing pop. You law is extra. You tuning in to Stocks and Bars.
And now for part 2 of our conversation with Jess Tierney, finding your way.
So the one thing you said that stuck out to me when you were explaining this is a personality trait of yours, which is helping people, because you are doing this to put people in a better position so they can make more money. And your business is designed to help people do that. You're not out here trying to kill everybody, beat them upside the head to make a fist over fist money. You're really out here because, look, I'm for the people, I'm a servant, and I want to be able to put people in a position so they can step up and elevate themselves. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you found you, and now you're doing something that you love that's helping people, and then that continually feeds the circle. So
totally,
you'll never be in the point that you were before.
Yeah, never. And it was that mindset, I think, going in with it, that like servant mindset of like, and that is truly Amy and I's personalities. And it was like, we want to help Akron and the surrounding areas have better design, be able to have access to staging, because people think that staging's on like HGTV. They think staging's, just for these big houses. It's not. It's for everyone. It can help you make money, So we wanted to, again, we're not out here saving the world, but we wanted to bring better design to Akron, because we feel like Akron gets a bad rap all the time. It's dingy, it's dark, it's this, it's that.
We've heard it.
Yeah, like, no, Akron, there are beautiful parts of Akron. I've seen them, personally. And so that's one of the best parts of our job, actually, is being able to see those small pockets of places that have the beauty that people don't get to see. I think that's probably one of our favorite parts of our job too. But helping people, that's where if your heart is in it and you're doing it for the right reason, everything else follows organically.
Right.
Because I'm not selling anything. I'm dead serious when I say that I believe in it, like down to my core.
Right.
So,
yeah, I know. we talked we talked about the beauty, right? We all know there's inherent beauty of it, but we all know that there's some ugly houses out there. So is there a house that you would say that I would say that you were approached to say, hey, can you help me sell this? And you're like, nah, I can't help you.
Yeah. We are very honest. And I will let you know that. I'll let people know what it is. Okay.
What was this house looking like? Tell me what it was looking like.
Okay, we thought that the house was going to be.
You gotta take a breath before you.
It was bad. It was so bad. Okay, we thought it was going to be repainted. It wasn't repainted. No big deal. Okay, but one of the rooms was a very bright child's purple, and the electrical boxes had paint or had tape over them, and then paint over that to look like it was an electrical box. That it was like an electrical outlet. They put tape over it, and then they painted over top of it to make it look like it was just part of the wall.
Even though it's tape and it's quite obvious.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. There was
that over there? Nothing.
Nothing. There was trim just like hanging like this, like in the back of the, like, just like say this is trim right here. It was just
dangling
completely off the wall. Like I can't do anything with that. Like, I can't, a picture won't help, So, and we'll be dead honest about that. Like, sometimes what they need to do is take that money that they were going to stage with, because they want to put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
They take that money and you put it into painting or doing the floors, like that just needs to go somewhere else, to be honest. Like, because it's going to make me look bad if I'm in here staging this house. Cat wallpaper. The whole room was cat wallpaper.
Yeah, what you supposed to do with that?
What am I going to do with that?
Cat wall?
I guess
we talking about kittens or cats? Like kittens playing with a yarn ball type, or
white wallpaper, calico cat, black cat, gray cat, like different kinds of cats. Wasn't even one kind. Any cat you could think of.
It was on there. Garfield.
It was bad. It was bad. It was filthy. It smelled like if you could smell pictures. Oh, that's the other thing is sometimes we'll like, go to a walkthrough and we'll like, see the pictures from before. Like maybe they've had it previously listed or something, on Zillow where we can see pictures of it. And then you get there and you're like, you can't smell a photo, but if you could.
Scratch and sniff. This is the one.
Yeah. Yeah. There've been a couple where we just had to back out and be like, we can't put our stuff in here because my inventory
is going to stink.
Would be ruined, So we've had a few. Amy had a lady one time, she did a consultation for her and she had taxidermied pets. I wasn't there for that one. Unfortunately, I wasn't there for that. I would have had a ball with that. Yeah. Her cat. It was her cat that was taxidermied. She had her cat stuffed and it was on a library wall of books. Yeah. Real stuff. And Amy had to politely ask her to remove that if she wanted to sell her house.
That's gotta go.
Yeah. I would have loved to have heard that conversation.
All right. So I want to back up a little bit now because we talked about, the journey and everything and the jobs that you've taken in order to get to where you're at. So I want you to also highlight, the things that you tried. You were able to extract the good out of it and and then use it for what you're at right now. So let's go down a list of jobs here, all right, that I've known Jess at, all right? So we're going to go this route, okay? All right, boom. When I first met you was at Red Robin, okay? You were at Red Robin for a while. So what did you pull out of working for Red Robin that you can still apply to today?
Oh, that's a good one. Red Robin was a good place for me to work at. Red Robin is probably not what it is today. I'm really not sure. But when I was there, it was really good. It taught me a lot about integrity.
Okay.
And seeking knowledge. Like they had these few core values. And it's like seeking knowledge, integrity, having fun. And it's like sometimes when you're in a job, it was just a serving job at the time. Yeah. You don't think how much it really does affect you. But those things stuck with me, I feel like. And being with people, being able to interact with all kinds of different people and finding the good in everyone, not freaking out if someone didn't tip me or if there was one bad apple, it didn't ruin my day, Yeah. I feel like that was a huge lesson from that. I learned a lot from Red Robin. Yeah, it was a good place. Good place.
Red Robin, shout out to making Jess who she is today. Now let's
let's go on. I was just telling someone a story about this today, actually.
What's up?
Red Robin, one time, my manager, Jason, great guy, we would kiki, laugh. We would joke all the time. Great guy. Had to fire me one time. The only time I got fired, yes, was
one
by
time?
him.
Does it mean that he fired you multiple times?
No. I mean, the only time I got fired was by him. And I totally needed it. I was in my party girl phase. I was just out here whiling, showing up at work whenever I felt like it. I was being an idiot.
Yeah.
And he was basically I don't want to do this, but I have to. I have to let you go. You're not being your best self. You need to get it together.
Up, yeah.
He gave me the hard dad,
Yeah.
And I remember at the time being Jason, meh, but after reflecting on it, I was like, he was right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I need to stop messing up. And like, I came around, and I do remember going back to him and like thanking him for firing me, because sometimes, no one's perfect, and I needed a kick in the pants. So shout out to Jason for kicking me in the pants at Red Robin. The one time I got fired, I deserved it.
We always have to take things with that silver lining, because everything serves the greater good.
Yes.
Everything always will come to that part. Just take some time. In your case, you realize it now. You didn't know it then, but now you do.
Yeah, I needed the humility for sure.
Yeah. So Red Robin taught you a lot that you apply now. I want to move to the next one. The next job that I knew was that Jess was at was American Income, or whatever the
American Income Life.
Yes. And shout out to you for that, because you changed my life from that one, right? Because you were actually the first person who put us on to getting life insurance policies. And since then, I've run with that, and I've learned more about life insurance. And, I got it for my kids and all that good stuff. So you are the person who is responsible for our household being insured to this
That makes me so happy.
Yeah. But what did you learn from working in that position?
That was another like servant's heart job, because it was about helping people who didn't think that they could afford life insurance, being able to afford it. That led me down that way all the time. Hustle. That was definitely.
That's a hustle job.
Oh my God. Nothing taught me hustle more than that job, probably too. Because I would go into the office at 9 a.m. I would go to a meeting for an hour and a half. I would go to my territory from like 10 to 9 p.m. I would go home, do paperwork. I would go in the morning, turn it in, and go out and do it all over again. And I would do that every day. And on Thursdays, I would make 250 phone calls in 4 hours and just dial like a machine. Oh my Lord, that was the hustle job. And if you're young and you don't want a family, and you're in that for you. Yeah. Yes, I started that job when I was single, and I was just out here to be like, I'm about my money. I don't care. Everyone stay out of my way. And of course, then I met my husband, because that's how that happens. When you're like, I don't want anything. Everyone stay away from me. Best thing to ever happen to me, honestly. Way better than American Income. But yeah, that was a hustle job.
All right. And then the last one, your transition phase, where you were going through a couple of jobs in order to figure out who you are. And a lot of people go through the MLM stage of things, especially they target a lot of single mothers, one, and motherhood too. They do that a lot, for the reason that I feel like they think that you were in that position where you felt like you could have contributed more, you could have been more, and a lot of mothers go through that phase. So what did you learn in that stage that helped you become the better you?
That one I learned, that was a good sales job too. That was a good, like, reaching out to people. That's where I first started doing videos. Okay. Surprisingly. And Amy will tell you that too. Amy's like, I remember when you would do your posh videos, because I started selling it because I liked it. And everything goes back to passion, or doing something that you like, right, that your brain is interested in. Because I did feel passionate about, everything that I was putting on my skin at the time, and everything that was going into my body, being very healthy. Yeah. And so, I feel like that just led right into that. And then I would do videos about using the products and things like that. So, and that was years ago. Yeah. So I feel like that kind of started me doing videos before I would even know what TikTok was. Right.
Right. And speaking of TikTok, shout out to you for being the person that I knew a celebrity, y'all. Okay. She was the first person that I knew personally that had a viral video on TikTok. That's awesome. And I was like, yo, if she could do it, I could do it. And I still haven't had a viral video.
You will. You will.
But tell us the process that you were like, when you made that, did you have that mindset that this is going to go viral, or it just happened?
No, it just happened. And you know who it was? Is Evan said, you know what I bet would go viral? It was my husband. It was like, you guys do that bed trick. He's like, that is wild. He's like, if you think about like, people really wouldn't believe that that's a bed. Yeah. And I was like, no, you're right. I mean, because we're just doing it. So our viral
in a moment.
Yes, our viral TikTok was that we in home staging use tables. We use folding tables as a bed instead of a box spring and all of that because it's cheaper. It does the same thing. We stage it the same way, put pillows, comforters. It looks completely like a bed, except for we can fold it up and store it way easier. So this blows people's minds. Some people hate us for it, which that's fine. Hey, trolls, keep it coming. Yeah, we get paid either way. Don't care.
No such thing as bad publicity.
That's right. So we just accidentally went viral with that. People just kept going crazy in the comments being like, I like this or I don't. Like either this is a super smart idea or it's like, I can't believe you're doing this. How dare you?
Yeah.
And I think that this is Chloe.
Coco.
Okay, go sit with Zoe for a minute. She's not downstairs. Okay. We need to pause for 1 second. Okay, so yeah, we just happened to go TikTok viral. I feel like TikTok decides what they want to see, and they decide who they want you to be. Because I think that now all of our bed videos keep going viral. So anytime that we try and do other videos, it'll be like few likes.
Give me that bed video.
Yes. Yeah. And TikTok is like, you're the bed girls. Okay. That's what you're doing. So you know what? We just finally gave into it. For a while, we were like trying to reinvent the wheel. And I was like, listen, TikTok, it just wants us to be the bed girl videos, I guess. So that's what we're going with.
So TikTok helped you grow your business in a lot of aspects, right? Is that a good assumption to make there?
Yeah. TikTok is one of those like smoke screens too. I feel like people need to know the like real side of TikTok. People think that you're like, if you go viral, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not.
No. Yeah.
I think they paid us like $100.
Yeah.
So
TikTok
maybe
is the real hustlers out here.
Yeah. Yes. So I feel like a lot of ours, it's kind of a combination. Like we get our Airbnb jobs from Instagram. They've come from people from California, and different spots from Instagram. TikTok is kind of like for the home staging, like people who want to be home stagers and the trolls for our bed videos.
The trolls, yeah. There's tons of trolls out there on TikTok that I've come to find out about. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need a bone every now and then. So
yes.
Shout out to you for your heart being big enough to share it with the trolls. It's like everybody got to eat. Fine. Here's some meals for the trolls too. Why not?
Yeah. We don't mind.
All right. So we walked through the whole transition, the 8 years. We've talked about each job, how it contributes to where you're at right now, how it's builds you to be the best version of yourself. And now we're at the point where you are the OG and you are telling other people about how they can start their business. So tell people about your course that you have right now and how they can access it.
Yeah, so you can access that on our Stand store on TikTok, and we have so many resources. We have free downloads and free templates. We have a quiz to see if you would want even to be a home stager, because I feel like to be a home stager, it takes, a certain type of person. So if you're wondering, like, could I do this? You take the quiz to find out if you think you could be a home stager. That's super helpful. And we have our course on there as well, to where if you were like, I know I'm in this, I want to be a home stager, I'm in the beginning stages, and I just want to get from point A to point M quick, then you take our course. Okay. And that'll get you skyrocketed through it. Yeah.
All right. So now that you're the OG, you're once again completing the circle. You've fulfilled yourself and now you're helping other people. And that is also an added layer of fulfillment to see other people
Yes.
get their passion, their joy, and ignite that light in them so they can be the better version of themselves. And this is what I love doing. This is why I wanted you on the show so bad, because I watched you do this. And I want
Thank
to,
you.
again, highlight to people that all you need to do is have these conversations. Me and Jess have been talking about different ways of making money for quite some time. And I've seen her get to where she's at now. And that's because she wanted it. She wanted it.
Yes. I don't have a degree.
Yeah.
I think that's really important too for people to know, is that I don't have an interior design degree. I can't say that I'm an interior designer because that title comes with a degree,
Right.
you know, but I think that's really important for people to know, is that, you know, you don't have to have degrees. You don't have to have these certain things to be an entrepreneur. You can start from day one. You can start with a passion and grow on it. It's going to be hard and you got to have a lot of grit and determination, but you can do it.
Right.
Right, Chloe?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's teaching her kids. And this is also something important that I highlight. Our kids got to be involved in this stuff. There cannot be this separation of, no, you go do this, you go. They have to be involved. Otherwise, like you've highlighted before, there's like a something lost in the translation, right? Because they don't feel like they're involved and it's just mommy and then it's me over here, right? Like to intertwine those worlds to make it seem like that we're all together in this. This is something important that I also stress to people too. You got to have that. You know,
Totally.
Even in what I do with the podcast, like I told you before this, like, hey, I'm fine with Coco here. This is life now, you know? She got to know, hey, Uncle Dwayne does a podcast. This is what he does, you know? Oh, that's cool, you know? And it may spark something in her in the future, you know? Maybe she may want to do something on a mic, you know? Maybe she might get into hip hop,
Totally.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, or whatever.
I hope she does.
Whatever it may be. I know a lot of times we also get on our kids for being on their phones and stuff. I try to also extract the good in that too, right? It can be, you know, problematic. However, I try to look at it now. They're creating videos. It's very easy for them to do it. So in this world now where it used to be you couldn't make money online, now, as you've highlighted, you can make a TikTok video, and albeit it wasn't a lot of money at that point, at some point in time, that can translate into actually being something, or they can work for a company and create content for them and do something like that. So now I find myself nurturing that to say, okay, what do you really like in this? And then I take that out of it and say, all right, we running with this. So shout out to you for being able to collaborate with your kids in order to make the best out of the situation that you got. So
yeah, we got to bring them in on it. So that way, you know, I feel like if she feels like she's a part of it too, it helps my heart ease a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to just take her to work with me. You know, I've always wanted to be able to just scoop up my kids whenever I wanted to and be that mom who could be there whenever I wanted to be, but still have everything. It was always like, you can't have both. You could either be a stay-at-home mom or you can be an entrepreneur. Like, no, I'm out here to prove, like, I don't care how hard I have to grind, but I will prove that you can have that balance. And I'm still working on it. You know, it's still a work in progress, but each day, if you stay on that course and you stay heavy on it, you'll figure it out. Because I feel like this past year we had a goal of, we're going to work less.
Right.
Because the grind, the grind sometimes is just the grind. If you're grinding, but you're not getting anywhere and you're just going on a circle, it's time to change something. Slow that down and figure out what's working and what's not. Because, you know, we need to have needle movers. That's what we call in business. At least Amy and I call them needle movers. Like, is that a needle mover for us? Is it going to get us any further? Then we're not doing it. You know, so recognizing those needle moving moments is definitely huge in business too.
And speaking of these needle moving moments, we're going to go back to your childhood, right? So you're self-reflecting now and you're understanding more about who Jess is and why Jess does what Jess does. So is there a point that you can recall from your childhood that, you know, our parents always do the best job that they can with the tools that they have. So knowing what you know that they've raised you with, and now you have your own family, what's something different that you're doing versus what your parents taught you versus what you're doing now?
Oh, that's a good question. Something different. I feel like entrepreneurship is very different. It's like completely different. My parents worked for companies that they retired from.
Right.
It was something that when I had mentioned to my dad that I was going to be a partner in a small business, he said, you know what your grandfather would say. And my aunt said the same thing. He's like, your grandfather would tell you, don't do that. You're crazy. Because my grandfather owned a filling station. He was a small business owner. He owned a small filling station and fixed the police cars in Ravenna, Ohio. And, he had a small business and they saw probably how it took away from their lives.
Yeah.
But I was determined to not let that be how I was going to portray that. Yeah. So it was like, no, I can do it, but a different way. My parents did things right and they let me try everything. If I wanted to try a new sport, my dad was like, do it. Yeah. If I wanted to try something, anything I wanted to try new, my mom and dad were both on board of go try it. If you don't like it, you can quit after the season. Obviously, they always made me finish seasons. But, there was a time where I was really good at softball and I quit because it wasn't making me happy anymore. So I stopped because it wasn't making me happy.
Yeah.
But years later, I went back to it. And I think that it's my parents letting me have that and trusting me that, maybe I'll come around back to it if I wanted, and if it was for me, then I would come back around to it.
Yeah.
Because my dad is a heavy sports guy. He loves sports. So that probably that hurt Dave's heart that, I was quitting softball, but he took it in stride. I remember him never making me feel bad about it and just saying, okay, if you don't want to do it, then, we'll wait till you come back around to it if you want to. And I did. So them letting me try new things, I think was really good. And recognizing certain traits in myself, and building me up with those things. I joke that it's like, I'm just a Leo and that's how I am. But I do think that my parents, built me up as a kid a lot and were good at complimenting the good things that I had going in my personality to bring those out more,
Yeah.
I was never too much for them, which was great. I probably was.
and shout out to OG Dave too. Uncle Dave, I got to tell you, whenever you hear this, man, you inspired me the other day when we was talking because he was telling me how he was golfing with his financial advisor. I said, God, oh, Dave is the OG. I mean, who else can I have a conversation with right now? I was just golfing with my financial advisor. We was doing. I'm like, man, I got to get there.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Good man. And you know what? I learned from my parents hard work. He worked hard,
Yes.
Worked hard, put in his time. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So if you are that person who is, going to work and grinding, like hats off to you for supporting yourself and your family, because that's what we got to do out here. Yeah. That's who my dad was. And it created a very good life for him. So shout out Dave Rhodes.
Dave Rhodes. And entrepreneurship, just one last point of that. There's nothing wrong with you getting into it slowly. I want to hammer home the point a lot of times that this TikTok world and Instagram and the, be your own boss movement type thing, there's nothing wrong with you being able to have a job and still be able to work on your craft. You just have to focus on that craft. That's all. It's not going to slow you down. You still need to have bills paid. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to be able to jump out and be your own boss, congratulations for making that decision. Just realize that you do not have to just turn things off and say, I'm going full time. You don't have to make that big of a risk.
I have a couple stagers that I know. One in particular, she was going through some family medical things and stuff like that. And I told her, it's just, I know she was frustrated. She felt like she was beating her head against the wall all the time. And I said, sometimes in life, it's just not the right time. And recognizing that is a big part of entrepreneurship, is that maybe you need to step back and keep doing those things that are needle movers for your business. Keep working on yourself, keep working on your social media and posts and getting better at your copy and how you want to present yourself. You can do those things slowly until you're ready to make that jump, because, and it just makes small moves. You don't have to make big jumps. You can make tiny moves, even if it's just improving your mental, to get to that place of entrepreneurship and telling yourself that you are that good. Maybe that's going to take some time. So yeah, I agree with that. Give yourself the time.
And one more question on here, and I'm going to get to it in a second. Just to highlight one more time about taking the time. This very podcast was something that I had in my mind that I said I could not do. And I talked myself out of doing it for a while because I said, I don't have a mic. I don't have a camera. And I was like, wait a minute. Actually, you have a camera and it records. So what? Like, let's go. That's it. It wasn't the best quality in the world at first, but I had to start. And once I started, then I was able to build upon that. And I say this to inspire anybody who wants to do anything. Just start. Just start. And once you start, you will continually feed into it and you will improve. Like you talked about doing the COVID stuff. Even then, I mean, you started, but you continually fed that money back into the business and it got better. Things just continually will serve the greater good. You just have to have that faith in it.
Yeah, our first staging was like a hodgepodge of like furniture Amy got from her house and her mom's garage. Like our first staging is wildly different than what we're doing today. I'll tell you that. But, we started somewhere, and it's wild to look back on. So, yeah, you're right. You got to start somewhere. Just do it. You might feel silly. Things feel weird and scary.
You're definitely going to feel silly. You're going to feel like, and when you look at it, when you come back around to it and you come like, I did that, but you had to do that. Yes. So that way you could get to where you are. Right. Totally. The stepping stone is ugly, but it's all right. It gets prettier.
We own it, though. We own them. Those are our stones.
Yep. I worked on it, and it's mine, and I owned it, and it's good.
Yes.
So last question tonight.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's not easy. It's not easy work. We know this, though.
Yes.
So last question tonight, we're going to transition into my favorite part of it. Hip hop. We're talking about hip hop right now. And for those of you who do not know Jess already told you she stays in fashion. At her birthday party, she was 90s fly. She had the drip from the 90s on. She had the straight up windbreaker suit. All right. Now she told me she got two of them. And she was like,
I'm
wait
party
a minute.
Ready.
This is actually real drippy. So she wore that. She had the big hoop earrings. She had the 90s hairstyle. Everything was 90s. She was on point with it. And her whole crew was 90s out too. So that was amazing. So what are you listening to right now as far as hip hop is concerned?
Oh my gosh.
You can take it back. You can say whatever you're listening to now, who's hot, who's not, all of that. But let me know what's in your rotation.
You know what I've been listening to?
What?
Old Outkast.
Like, that is serviceable still, yes.
Like AT-Aliens. Like,
yes. Me
that.
And you, your mama and your cousin too.
That's my stuff. That is my stuff right there.
Right up the late 90s album right there. That came
out I feel like I've been banging those late 90s because
that was 98?
of the party.
Oh, the party sparked it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the party just sparked it. So now that's just what's on my playlist. Some Tupac, All Eyes on Me, you know, the greats.
Now, does anything inspire you hip hop when you do any of your staging? You got anything in your rotation that you like? Put that on, and I'm gonna stage this in 2 minutes flat.
Ooh, you're gonna laugh. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say it because you know what? I still rock with him, and I'm still loyal.
What you
so
got?
Come at me. But my boy Kanye,
No,
with all the lights,
Kanye's
all
good.
the lights.
Yeah, Kanye's still good in my hood. Look,
I mean, I'll stand in a room like, you know, that's that. You can walk in or out of a room to that song.
Kanye is still good with me. I don't care what nobody says.
Same.
The man has gone through some things that I've never gone through in my life, so I cannot make any judgments whatsoever on whatever
Absolutely
he
agree.
has to say.
I've heard some new Eminem too, but I just heard it on vacation. But he was going so hard.
Yeah.
I do not know the name of the song, and I forget he was on a track with someone else. But I mean, he reminded you. Yes, I'm going to have to find this song for you if you haven't heard it yet, because I was like, wow. Like,
M never lost it. He never lost it.
No. And he reminds you real quick with that song.
Yeah,
I'll find it for you.
Too. All right.
Same.
So, Jess, one more time. I super love you. I appreciate you for spending the time with me tonight. We got this in, and as we talked about timing, the timing is just right for whatever it was back then. It wasn't supposed to happen. But now, here we are, and both of us are inspiring the world. I hope that I can be some type of service to you, a vessel of some sort to help you get to where you want to be in life. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for your kids, your husband, your family, everything you're building. I love it. And like I said,
I love you so much.
I love everything you're doing. I can't wait to contribute in some shape, form, or fashion to making you the better version of yourself. So thank you for coming on.
Same, cousin. I love you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I was able to do this. And you are an inspiration. You are a good man and a good husband. And I love you tons.
Thank you. All right, and we'll catch you.
Keep doing it.
Yes,
keep going.
Catch you, and we'll have to recap another time on the next successes that we achieve.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Yo, Primo, let me hold this beef for a minute, fam. Got this put a little finance on it. Brooklyn, what up? Yo, that concludes the podcast with me and Jess. I'm glad to have you on here. For you to be a guest, it took a while, but one time I knew it'd be a yes. Now we showcase to the world how you could be your best. Simple answer to how we got here. We invest. If you want to, get at me, dog. DMX. Hit my Instagram. All you gotta do is DMX. Teach the word about charts, show you how to read them next. Helping the culture grow. That should be the flex. No more money phones allowed. We should help you see the steps. Hip hop runs the world. We can make it free of stress. Eliminate the middleman. Display us being blessed to live. Stop degrading ourselves with energies that's negative. Gotta start somewhere. Stocks and bars, let's begin. Ballin' now, put the trades on ESPN. Follow me, let's be friends. This podcast at the trends. Stocks and bars.